Hello, hello. Good afternoon. My name is Mike Lamprinos. I'm with Meta, and I'm a product manager for Presence Platform. I don't know about you, but I still remember vividly the first time I tried the VR device. It was a long time ago, don't get me wrong. It was an Oculus Rift DK2. But I remember this moment because it was the first really amazing moment I had with the VR device, where the tech was good enough to really feel immersed into the experience. Now, almost a decade has passed since then. The whole Quest and XR ecosystem has evolved since then. And all the devices have made massive leaps ahead. And with Meta Quest 3, there's a whole new generation of users that are experiencing similar moments like the one I had over a decade ago. Because the underlying capabilities of the device are powerful to really generate those type of moments. It has really started a new era for XR devices. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, right? I can actually see some familiar faces in the crowd, which is always great. How do I make most out of this device? How do I start developing with mixed reality? I know some of you are already developing VR games and are interested in introducing mixed reality capabilities or other presence platform capabilities to them. Some of you are even mobile developers that are coming to the VR and XR ecosystem for the first time. So that's how we designed this breakout session today, right? With you in mind to help you get from your first idea to a prototype or your first build very fast. We're going to present you the tools that are available both from Unity and Meta to help you in this developer journey. And I got Henrik with me that he's going to take a deep dive on mixed reality. Before that, I'm going to kick off by going through the latest with Presence Platform capabilities, and I'm going to discuss some of the tools that we have released for developing with MetaQuest. Now, who here has tried MetaQuest 3 or owns a device? Wow, a lot more than expected. That's amazing. If you haven't tried already, you should try it on the booth. You really need to try it, and I think those that own the device agree that you need to try to understand how much mixed reality has evolved with this device. Pass-through feels natural and realistic, partly because of the 10 times more pixels compared to Quest 2. And as I'm sure you know, we're bringing all new and improved APIs to enable you building for this device. And with MetaQuest 3, it's fair to say that Presence Platform is at an inflection point, right? It's not just about mixed reality. It's the whole set of capabilities that are under Presence Platform that are coming together with this device. We've been working in some of the underlying technology for years, like hands and hand recognition, which is a natural fit for mixed reality. And with Quest 3's high-resolution trackers and depth projector, it's better than ever. And we know we've been working towards the right direction by the strong engagement developers like you are seeing when they introduce these capabilities to their devices. Trip saw an over 30% increase in daily active users after incorporating mixed reality capabilities. So let's take a closer look to our three key capabilities here: mixed reality, movement, and natural inputs. Mixed reality, anchor, scene, and pass-through. We've already seen many developers creating amazing experience with these capabilities that blend the physical with the virtual world and create engaging experiences. Henrik is going to take a deep dive on mixed reality later. One thing that I wanted to highlight is that you can now build mixed reality with Unity's AR Foundation. As we announced earlier this year, many of the mixed reality presence platform capabilities are coming to AR Foundation. We're working really hard to introduce more and more features. So if you're already developing with AR Foundation, feel free to use the mixed reality capabilities and continue building with that. We're very excited to see what you build. Now, interactions and inputs have taken a massive leap ahead in the past year. There are many, many new capabilities that are coming live right now, and have a look at our blog post that goes through all the details, but I just want to highlight a few. One is micro gestures, with Interaction SDK helping users interact easier than ever before. We have a big update on haptics, with introduction of Haptic Studio, as well with Voice SDK. Of course, there are many more improvements coming, including one that I've heard many of you requesting for a long time. How do I combine inputs? This is coming soon. Now, movement. Movement makes all the difference. And we have some big updates this year to make it easier to introduce movement capabilities into your apps, your experiences, your games. I want to call out two of them. Inside-out body tracking on MetaQuest 3, which provides developers and users with an accurate and natural tracking system, unlocking new possibilities. It is an industry first for body tracking and delivers accurate upper body tracking with seamless hands-free experience. It is especially great for fitness, gaming, and social apps. It will be available on MetaQuest 3 later this year, so definitely try this one out. What works really well with inside-out body tracking is generative legs. You can use the generative legs to integrate natural leg movements for users, using only the position of their upper body. It is using cutting-edge AI to create a plausible full body. The amazing thing is there are no additional sensors required. The device does all the work for you on the background. It will be available for MetaQuest 2, MetaQuest Pro, and MetaQuest 3. All right, now let's switch gears a little bit. At Meta, we've been focusing a lot on improving the developer experience with SDKs and creating the tools for you to be more productive when developing for MetaQuest devices. Today, I'm going to talk to you about 3 tools that we created that hopefully get closer to that goal. So, starting with the obvious one, right? When you are trying to begin your development journey, we know that it's very easy to get stuck even before starting developing, right? Setting up SDKs tends to take a lot of time. It has happened to me, I don't know if it has happened to you, that many times you will spend hours debugging an issue and only realize you're missing a checkbox somewhere, right? I know it's very frustrating. That was the inspiration for Project Setup Tool. Has anyone used Project Setup Tool before? A few hands, amazing. That's great, great. Let's talk a little bit more about it for the people that are not familiar then. The setup tool contains a large set of automatic fixes for your project. It will alert of any issues and allow fixing them with just one click. You don't have to waste any more time debugging or go through several doc pages to figure out the exact properties. With one click, you can start your project. And here is how it works. It's actually very simple. After installing the latest Oculus integration, you can open the Tools menu from the bottom right toolbar in the Unity editor and select Project Setup Tool. There, you will see a list of all the outstanding issues and recommendations, and you can either press to fix all of them or select specific ones that you would like to fix individually. Now, all the checks are done on the background, right? That notifies you of outstanding items, and we alert you when required items need fixing. We have multiple levels of rules with different alert types, like required, recommending, or optional. Project Setup Tool is already available today. It is shipped on version 49 with the Oculus integration. We're currently 59, so you can find it on the bottom right corner on the Oculus icon. More automatic fixes and supported APIs are coming with every new SDK release. Now, that's for Project Setup Tool, which is great to identify what you're trying to do in your project, help fix any issues in a reactive way, right? What it is not capable of doing is help you build in a more proactive way. And we've talked, again, with many of you. What we realize is we actually have a lot of features out. We have a lot of capabilities. A lot of them are coming online all the time, so sometimes it's hard to discover all of them. And once you discover all of them, sometimes it takes also a lot of time to make them work together. So don't get me wrong. Of course, you can start with samples, with documentation, with tutorials, are all great starting points. But we've built building blocks as a fast way to start your development journey with mixed reality and other present platform features. With building blocks, you can easily discover and add different features to your project. They contain a set of features from our Oculus SDK, including some that you can see here, like pass-through, room model, hand tracking, and objects that you grab in a mixed reality world. Let me show you how it works. Again, you open building blocks window from the same menu you open the project setup tool on the bottom right corner. There you can browse and select the blocks you would like to add to your project, and you just drag and drop them into your scene. It's that simple. We take all the work happening in the background to figure out how they work with each other. You don't have to worry about that. Just simply drag and drop the ones you want into your scene. Let's say you want to make a mixed reality game with pass-through, room model, and hand tracking, right? All you need to do is come to this building blocks window and drag these blocks into the scene. Then the extra features are ready, and you can just go focus on the code specific to your project. Now, after you install a block, what happens in the background is that we work any dependencies, and we already pre-install them for you. So you don't have to worry if you drag a block that has a dependency. And the really cool thing is any required configuration is done automatically with setup rules. So again, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You can focus on your project and creating. Some of the goals here we've touched already, but we want you to discover all the new features and capabilities, easily introduce any new extra features to your project, and combine features like hands and mixed reality very, very effortlessly. It's pretty cool. I think you will agree when you try it. The building blocks are great for both cases, that you just want to start a quick prototype, right? Find the fun, very quickly drag and drop different elements. Or if you're looking for a robust starting point for a production build, we work everything in the background so you don't have to worry about all the things that take the time. You're obviously free to customize a block once you drag it. The quick start with the basic working state, but you can tweak it to match your specific needs of your project. Now, building blocks is out now on V57. We've released V59 this week. And you will see more and more blocks becoming available, more improvements on this tool. And we're really excited to see what you create and how that tool helps with your development process. We already have a few blocks available with VR features and MR features like pass-through, scene, interaction SDK is coming soon, and movement. So to recap, we have these two tools, project setup tool and building blocks, to help get your mixed reality project up and running much faster so you can focus on making your project special. Now, I promised 3 tools. You start your project, you drag things into the scene. The next thing that we know takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, is iteration, right? Iteration can be slow, sometimes taking on and off the headset is not great, right? And we know it holds many of you back. That's why we created MetaXR Simulator. With MetaXR Simulator, you can easily test and improve the mechanics, design, and overall user experience of your apps without a headset. It is a fully featured OpenXR runtime that runs on your computer. It simulates our MetaQuest headset with a lot of awesome features to help your development. Now, let me be clear, it's not a replacement for the actual headset. You still need a MetaQuest headset for testing the real interaction experiences, graphics, and obviously performance. But what we're aiming for here, what's our vision with this tool, is that you don't need the headset all the time. You don't need to put it on all the time. We're aiming at the future that you use the headset for fit and finish work rather than the early setup iteration part of your project. So we've built MetaXR Simulator with a developer cycle in mind. We started focusing on the most common testing scenarios, interactions, right? So we introduced inputs that you use on the headset, like controllers or hands, that you can simulate just with a mouse or keyboard or an Xbox controller. Next, we developed features for mixed reality development. With a synthetic environment server, you can load synthetic maps that simulate a room's pass-through, scene, and anchor information. These maps are captured and rendered in a photorealistic way, so you can be immersed when iterating. Some cool features coming soon, that you'll be able to load your own rooms into the tool and customize the environment. Now, just taking the complexity up one level, MetaXR Simulator allows you to open multiple instances of the tool with their individual OpenXR runtime on a single machine. So you can test your multiplayer content with a breeze. It works great for APIs that help enable collocated XR experiences like shared spatial anchors. And I just want to focus a second on pass-through, where MetaXR Simulator supports common use cases like background pass-through and pass-through windows. Coming up soon, you'll be able to use surface projected pass-through and styling. One other cool feature is that you can simulate different devices. And that's about MetaXR Simulator. It is available today. You can find the MetaXR Simulator UPM package via the Unity Asset Store. I'm going to pass it to Henrik in a second, who's going to take a deep dive into mixed reality. But before I do that, let's watch some of the exciting content developers are already building with mixed reality on MetaQuest 3. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Now, we've seen developers using these awesome capabilities to blend the physical with the virtual world and creating engaging experiences. With MetaQuest 3, these are becoming even more central for the user experience. So we only really scratched the surface of blending the virtual with the real world, and with that, let's try to dive in and see some of the latest API updates. First, let's take a look at pass-through. Pass-through is magical on the MetaQuest 3. With 10 times more pixels and a new AI-powered depth engine that takes advantage of the hardware, all mixed reality apps automatically benefits from this new pass-through. In fact, pass-through is so natural and realistic that we have redesigned the user experience and the default home environment to be in pass-through. Soon we will allow users to seamlessly transition from pass-through in home to their mixed reality app, completely removing any jarring black loading screens. All it takes is 2 steps. 1, you create an instant runtime splash screen, and 2, you enable pass-through in your app at startup, and you're all set. Another new API is color lookup tables, or LUTs. Basically, this allows you to specify a mapping from one color to another. So a simple example will be that we have a scenario where we map all green to red. Now suddenly all the plants in your room will appear as red. Or if you take a look at this picture behind me, this room normally has white walls. But you as a developer can specify your color grading for your desired experience. So next, let's talk about scene. What makes mixed reality truly magical is when the experience adapts to your space. Scene API on the MetaQuest 3 leverages a brand new space setup experience. With space setup, as the user looks around, we automatically create representations of your room, and including furniture outlines and walls for your apps to use. So to enable your apps to take advantage of the new capabilities of the MetaQuest 3 and the brand new space setup, we're introducing the Mesh API. Mesh API enables your application to do things like having a virtual agent or create character, navigate your personal space, or convincingly place virtual content that would let you transform your home to a forest campfire. Now, mixed reality enables freedom of movement, and users naturally desire to move seamlessly and expect experiences to adapt to your space. So soon we will allow users to set up multiple rooms in Space Setup, and your mixed reality apps can leverage these multiple rooms and allow users to move freely in them. Recently, we announced the Depth API. The Depth API provides you with real-time, per eye, per frame, depth estimates of the environment. For example, with the Depth API, we can render our virtual friend Oppie here, behind that real chair. This is called dynamic occlusions, and you can do this now. And if you're a graphics pro, you can go a lot further. So we redesigned the API so you can bring down your own depth-based effects, and you can, for example, render fog or use the depth information for gameplay, so you can, for example, have a flashlight in your game. And you can experiment with the Depth API on the MetaQuest 3 today. So now I'm going to talk about something that excites me a lot, which is the Mixed Reality Utility Kit. So we've been told that developing for Scene could be challenging, so where would you place content if you don't know the user's space, or how would your app look like in different spaces? So we listened, and we recently announced the Mixed Reality Utility Kit. The Mixed Reality Utility Kit provides you with multiple interfaces to do and perform scene-related queries, such as raycasting to anchors, checking reachability, positioning relationships of anchors and spawning points, etc. Say, if you want to create a mixed reality tabletop game, it helps answer content placement questions such as, where's the closest point to this desk in relation to my position, and where do I spawn content where it makes the most sense? Some utilities can also help you with the art styling of your app. So if you wonder, how can I reskin my walls without textures looking all stretched, and how can I make a safe model scale and match this physical disk nicely? The Effects Mesh Helper in the Mixed Reality Utility Kit can render your walls, such as textures, wrap around smoothly without any seams, and they don't get stretched and deformed depending on their scale and size. This is, of course, crucial for reskinning mixed reality worlds. And another tool, Room Guardian, can be used to implement for your users to keep them safe in your experience. Mixed Reality Utility Kit also provides a set of developer tools like debugging prefabs that allows you to inspect scene data. And spawner tools makes it easy to place virtual content or furniture to match their physical counterparts with various options to match their orientation, their size, and aspect ratio. The Mixed Reality Utility Kit will be available for Unity later this year. And with that, I'm going to give the word back to Mike.
Thank you very much, Henrik. So, the three things I hope you take out of this presentation, right? Developing for mixed reality with MetaQuest 3 is now a lot easier, right? With the three tools that we saw today, Unity Project Setup Tool and Building Blocks. You can very easily start developing, prototyping, see how it fits with the ideas that you already have, or find new ones. It's a lot faster with the Mixed Reality Utility Kit, which I'm very excited about coming later this year, and MetaXR Simulator, available already. And of course, we added some amazing APIs with powerful capabilities like Depth and Mesh API. Now, I just want to leave you with this. Feel free to follow the developer blog, but most of the tools we presented here are available to you today. They're part of the newly released MetaXR all-in-one SDK. We actually announced it this week. We're moving to a UPM package. Distribution is going to happen via the Asset Store. So if you're using the Oculus integration, please go to the Asset Store and download the V59 onwards. But if you're an AR Foundation developer, many of those capabilities are already there. And we're working very hard with our partners at Unity to bring more of them this year and next. Don't forget to download MetaQuest Developer Hub. It's the companion app to develop with MetaQuest devices. And that's pretty much from us. We wanted to maximize the time here to show you some of the content. So if you have any questions, we would love to hear them, have a conversation. We are going to be back in the Meta booth just after this presentation. Thank you so much. We can't wait to see what you build and what you develop with these capabilities. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.
Thank you for attending.